Have you ever come home from a photo shoot that was done in midday sunlight? You put your photos into Lightroom and you try to edit them, but you're struggling to push a color grade because every single time you do, it feels like the highlights are just falling apart. So you chose to go the safer route and push no color at all. That right there is a huge reason why a lot of photographers skip out on shooting in midday sunlight because they know that they're gonna have to go home and try and edit those photos to match the vision that they wanted, but they just can't get. But what if I told you that there's a few simple fixes to get a stunning color grade from a photo that was taken in broad daylight? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be covering in today's video. My name is Jacob Wegler, and I help photographers create strong edits so that they can level up their portfolio, raise their rates, and attract the clients that they really want to work with. So we're going to jump into Lightroom and we're going to look at a photo that I took in broad daylight. I'm going to show you how to recover the highlights and how to create a seamless color grade from a photo that was taken with bright highlights. All right, so I've got this photo here, and this photo is already set up to a point where I would be super happy to ship it. But at the same time, if I want an environment like this to look a little bit more heavy, where I have something that maybe looks a little bit more like this, where it's like super moody, like really warm, and tries to highlight the environment that it was actually in, because like there was some bright highlights and like it felt warm on the day, and that's kind of the emotion I wanted to convey. But this shot doesn't necessarily do that. And so we want to take things to the next level. But if we want to do that, sometimes what can happen is we can't push in the colors to our highlights. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about because very quickly things can start to break. So I've got my lighting all dialed in here, and I'm going to come down to the color grading tab. So the way that I would start pushing in color is usually when you come into a color wheel, it's going to start off here. And so I'll start pushing the color in the tone that I think would look good in the highlights. And so I'm going to swing this up here and I'm like, okay, I want it to look kind of warm like this. So I'm just going to start pushing in that tone there. I'm going to go up to 100. And you can see here that this looks really, really red. And so I'll go through this process, which I like to call swinging between the colors. So I'll go between two extremes where one side looks too red, and then I'll go over to the other side that looks too green. And so I'll start swinging between the two, too red, too green, and you just find that middle balancing point where it just clicks with your photo. And it's amazing once you set up your color palette properly. Like we've got kind of like this red and teal look here. This looks really great in terms of a complementary color palette, but we want to start pushing in another color. And once you have that complementary color palette, then this color naturally will click when you swing between two extremes. So I'm going to turn the eye off just to make sure it's not too red. Turn the eye on. Okay, so this color definitely clicks with our shot. But the problem is we can see here that we've got a little bit of separation between the highlights and the midtones. And in some photos, it's really, really extreme, where we can see like huge banding in the sky, but we can even see it here where we've got these bright highlights here, but then there's like a bit of a band which starts to happen right in here. And so that's really what we want to avoid. And that's what I'm going to show you how to fix right now. So, how you fix that and how you mitigate that to be able to enter that color directly into all the highlight range is you go up to the tone curve. You're going to set a point for the highlights, for the midtones, and for the shadows if you haven't done this already. And then you're going to grab the top of the tone curve and you're going to pull that down. Okay, so you can see exactly what just happened. This is crazy. So I'm going to bring this back up and then I'm going to go back. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Let's go forward. Okay, so we can see like we've got those really harsh highlights. Now the highlights look so much more managed and they fit within the rest of the scene, but you can still tell that those are still a highlight tone. And I've often had people ask me, okay, how do you know how far down to push this? And so when you start to push this down more, you're going to see we start losing a lot of detail in that highlight. And so once you start pushing below this highlight point, you're going to start losing detail no matter what. And so what I like to recommend is I would try not to push between the halfway mark. So this point right here and the top of the tone curve, I say generally within the halfway point, you found a good place for this point to land. But once you start going down, you can start losing more detail. And obviously that's a personal choice, whatever you want to go with, but do recognize that that can cost you detail in your shot within your highlights. So I like to kind of sit it somewhere in the middle point because now we're not getting banding between this mid layer and the highlights. A really important reason for why this is also super important is because once we start bringing down these highlight points, then what's going to happen is we are going to introduce this color into the highlights. But when you try to push that color, naturally, you're not seeing any of this color into the highlights whatsoever. And so you want to make sure that you are actually able to push that color into those highlights instead of it just being blown out. You don't get any of that effect whatsoever. And this can happen in some of the most extreme examples. Okay, so now that we've got that figured out, you might be asking, okay, how do we know what type of color grade that we want to push in our photo? So let's actually go back into the color grading tab here. Not a lot of people realize that the difference between you and the photographers that you look up to is primarily editing. And I personally know that reality because the photographers that I looked up to never validated my work. And the brands that I reached out to never even got back to me. But that was until I completely shifted and changed my editing style. No word of a lie, even with just 500 followers on my Instagram page at the time, I had pro level photographers starting to follow me. And when I reached out to brands and started sending pitch decks, I heard from them. And that's why I personally worked for the past 3 years on developing an entire system to show you how to edit any photo shot in any environment, no matter what style of photographer you are. This system will work for every single photo to go from raw to a pro level commercial style edit. And the reason why is because it is all based off of a system. And I've personally been able to help photographers that are in wildlife, in concerts, and automotive, just to name a few. So if you're tired of your edits not matching the vision that you had behind the camera, then I want to invite you to check out the Cinematic Blueprint. There's more information in the description below to see if it's right for you. All right, let's get back to the video. And when you're thinking about coming into the color grading wheels, this is one of the things that not a lot of people think about, but it's very easy. So you want to separate your photo into either warm or cold. And so if you're going to be pushing warm, you're going to split your color wheel here either to the right if you're pushing warm. And so you have the choice between even like some of these pink, purple tones all the way up to kind of like this yellowy green. And then if you're going to go cold, then you're going to push from this green all the way down into like these deep purples. And so for us, when it is shot in midday, unless if it's like a winter scene, most of the time we are going to shoot for something that is a little bit on the warm side. And so how you start, just like I showed you, is you're going to just start pushing towards that tone that you believe should be in those highlights. And then you're going to say, okay, is it too red? Is it too green? And you're going to start to filter and swing between those two. Now I'll go highlights, and then I'll go to the midtones and the shadows. And the reason why is because the highlights naturally will dictate this scene. Because when you have a scene with really bright highlights, that's where a lot of your color is really going to get pushed in between the highlights and those shadows. And so that's where we naturally want to start with our photo. And you might be saying, okay, well, what if I want to push a really heavy color grade? Am I going to start in the globals? Naturally, I'm going to say no. And the reason why I say no to that is because I like to go through the highlights, midtones, and shadows and see if I still need a boost of color. Because oftentimes, what can happen is when we start pushing color into our globals, this starts to dominate the entire photo. And so what can happen is we get really polluted midtones, we get really polluted shadows, and so that can really start to affect our photo. And so I like to go through the process of highlights, midtones, and shadows. And so I'm going to show you exactly how I sort through that and how I walk through that process. So you saw how we did the highlights. Now let's go to the midtones, and we're going to push in that exact same color tone. And the reason why is because we are just accentuating those highlights and we're just helping to boost them. Now with the highlights, we went at 100 with the saturation, and that didn't ruin our photo. That's what happens when you set up a proper color palette. But now we go to the midtones, and we're just going to help boost that color. Okay, now we can go super aggressive, like we could go to 100, but very quickly, this image is going to take on a lot of that saturation. And so typically, I don't like to go to 100 in the midtones. I'm going to probably go at around 65 here because that's giving a really nice boost to my photo. Just to make sure I didn't go overboard, I'm going to turn the eye off, turn the eye on. I feel like it's really helping the scene, so I'm going to keep that. And then I'm going to go to the shadows, and this is where we're going to push opposite on the color wheel. And the reason why we're pushing opposite is to neutralize our blacks. So when we come in here, we can have oftentimes our blacks being polluted by the midtone color. So let me turn this off. So we have more neutral blacks. Look at his arm here. Turn that on. oftentimes we can have that color start to introduce into our black. So what we want to do is neutralize our blacks by pushing the opposite color into those shadows. Because in my opinion, one of the greatest marks of a great photo is by having those neutral deep blacks. So I'm going to keep an eye on this arm here where I'm seeing those blacks, and I'm going to push in this tone, and it's going to be super subtle. Like if we push in too far, you can tell, but we're going to start dialing it back here. We're going to go pretty muted. So I might even go at around 12. And let's turn the eye off and on. Okay, now I don't feel like we're adding blue into the scene and into those deepest blacks. Let's come down here. Let's turn the eye off and on. Okay, so I can see here in a different part of the scene, we are adding some blue. So I'm just going to remove that, turn the eye off and on. Just a little bit of blue. So we're going to do just a little bit, not much. Okay. Now you might be saying, okay, what if we want to split tone? Like, what if we want to go more of like those warm highlights, but then like those deep blues so that we can like really counteract this, so we can really get like that nice orange and teal look. And so this would naturally be how you do it. So yes, you'll push in your tones here into those shadows, really start getting some of those blues. We'll crank it up a little bit more aggressive. But when we do that, we are losing a lot of that warmth in those midtones. So we're just going to have to counteract, bring that up. Now we are still getting some of that blue here in those shadows, which does help the scene. But now what we need to do is we need to neutralize those deepest blacks. And you might be thinking, okay, aren't we just going to then just get rid of that color that we just pushed into the shadows? But all we're doing is just making sure that the deepest, darkest blacks are neutralized. So we're going to go into the tone curve here. We're going to go to the blue, set a point for the deepest blacks, and push those opposite from the blue just to get those deepest blacks. Okay, so we've got those blues in the shadows here, and we've got those nice warm tones. And so that's how we do part of that split toning. And so you can go as extreme as you want with this. And if you want, sure, you could remove a little bit of that saturation if you don't want it as warm and as intense. You can definitely move it down. But as for how you start color grading and pushing a look into this photo, that's exactly how you're going to do it and how you're going to maintain those highlights so that you can push in a color to them. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, you want to see more videos just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I have a ton more videos on photo editing and color grading, including this one that I think you'll really like. So I'll see you over there. All right, peace.